Alright then, came back live again, and hopefully this time I'm gonna be going into the right stream. Okay, here we are. Never expected this would take this much time, but okay, let's wait for a while. This is the current one, and things should be alright here. Oh yeah, this is the one. Hello, hello, hello. Am I audible? Can you hear me? I'm not even sure whether I'm here audible over. Okay, I am audible, and let's simply continue from here on. And let me turn one more thing off that is already off here, so now I can just simply continue. And we were somewhere here. Okay, so first of all, of course, I have to clear everything from here, and same is going to go with the backend as well. So let's simply front end and backend both. So let's simply clear everything, and this is the time to just simply start running everything from scratch. But as for now, what am I actually doing? Whenever I just refresh the page, at that time this particular, let me do one thing, close everything directly. So inside this front end, what kind of error is this? It is just simply saying that cache is not found, right? Ultimately, it is saying that one of the files couldn't be found, so that is why I'm simply getting the error over here. So as that's done, npm run dev, backend is gonna be running right now, and same is gonna be happening with the front end. Npm run dev. Okay, localhost and 3000. This is fine so far. I can just simply create a new meeting, and this is how the meeting room looks like. It is not even bad, I can say. And as soon as the meeting got created, a participant got added, and that is the host right now. I can just simply click on inspect, and this time go to Redux, and initially it was like this, so there are many states. Suffering from this is quite a lot, never mind. So then it became like this, and then this, then this, then this. Ultimately the value of it always remained null only. In that case, the value is actually undefined. And what could be the reason behind this? As for the action, there's nothing in the action too. This is something interesting. That simply means I'm not getting the data here. And can I just simply reset everything? Okay, as everything is reset, I should be just coming back online. Reload it. It is still undefined null. I mean, there's nothing inside that robot. Okay, that's one problem here, and that is the music is being played in my background, and because of that thing I may have to just simply stop speaking. But let's see exactly what's gonna happen. Custom action dispatch empathy. It turns out that I still have to know more about it. Never mind. Let's simply reset it, everything again. Reload the page, and this is how it looks like. Okay. So the next thing that I'm gonna be doing, I ultimately going to go through everything from scratch. That simply means come here and go to this main. And if I directly go to the login page, then what will happen? I will be redirected, right? That's absolutely right. In that case, I cannot really visit the login page. Even if I have the key or not, that doesn't really matter. I will be redirected here, that's fine. And once I'm here, there's no value. So inside this page.tsx, forget about this page.tsx. Inside providers, I have this auth provider, and this auth provider is mainly setting the values. So using dispatch, set dispatch, it is using set user that I'm actually getting from here, and it is just simply getting the ID, name, log, everything. And once it actually gets everything, so it is just simply setting that. So kind of okay, it should work as the values are set from this side. That simply means wherever I'm trying to get this, so if I go to this layout, so over here first of all I'm checking whether the value of loading is what. If it is loading, then of course, otherwise then I will be able to check. So of course the value is loading is gonna be false, because inside set user, the value of his loading actually becomes false, and his authenticated becomes true, and set state remains like this. Okay. Reload it one more time, and this is how it looks like. That it is still undefined. Why is it undefined? Even if when I'm on the dashboard, set user, when I'm actually setting the user, this is the payload that I have. Okay, when I have this particular payload, type is auth user, set user, and I'm on this dashboard page. Why isn't the state being set? And how can I check whether do I have the state set or not? For this particular thing, I can go to dashboard page. Okay, main dashboard page.tsx, and over here let's do one thing. I have these many things, and one more thing that I'm gonna be having here, that's gonna be the getting the use state, not really, const user information from user selector, that will be coming from Redux. And after that, of course, I will have a state over here, and state.auth is something that I want. And apart from this particular thing, the root state is actually going to be the type of it. After that, I'm just simply going to be logging it, and that's going to be the user information, and just like this. So if it actually exists, then I should be getting my user information. So reload the page. So this is how I'm getting the user information, and it turns out yes, these values are actually present there. And if these values are actually present there, then why is that so? That here the state is still undefined. Don't know what is the reason behind it, because I am getting the values inside this. Is authenticated true, loading is false, and this is the user information that I'm getting. If I'm already getting this, why is the state being shown here like this? Okay, what could be the problem? Let's do one thing. I'm gonna be just simply Redux toolkit, right? So okay, remote dev window React tools. Let's simply remove it for now. It's been removed. If I just simply reload the page, it's not gonna be present there, or it is actually present there. here we are. Right now that's not gonna be present, so Redux is gone, and I can just simply get it again. So a Redux toolkit. Let's see whether this was actually kind of because of some caching thing, or it was because of a cache, or it's actually the way my code is written. But even before that, I should be getting the extension first of all. So Redux toolkit extension, just like this. This is the extension that I have installed. Add to Chrome, add extension, fine, and the Redux dev tools. As this is there, then okay, and I can reload the page. I can click on this. That's not there yet. Right now I'm getting the information, but I don't want to get the information like this. So simply I will reload the page, and Redux is not working here. Redux dev tools, open remote. Don't want things like this. Come back here. What can I actually do? I'm getting my state, but the thing is that this Redux toolkit is actually not present here. Why is that so? Right now I'm not even getting my Redux toolkit. That's crazy. But okay, it does not mean that I'm facing the same error. This is the let's keep it there. The Redux toolkit, open in a window. This is how it's gonna be looking like, and though it's quite small, so this is how I can just increase it. And right now I'm getting both the things. So ultimately, when it comes to auth, so auth has the user information, and this is the user information is set, authenticated is true, loading is false. And apart from this meeting thing, of course I'm not inside the meeting page, so everything is kind of empty or false, and soon I'm gonna be adding value in them as well. अब start करेंगे तो class में start करते हैं. Alrighty, let's go to the meeting page and see what happens. So right now, if I actually try to go to the meeting page, or I just create a meeting, so this is how the meeting is actually created. And right now, if I actually have a look here, so I have the meeting ID, I have the name, open model is still false, permission denied, and everything is kind of making sense. Permission denied, false, peer connections, and this is how things are actually going to be going on. Actually, music is being played in the background, so people are watching, so otherwise I could have just turned myself off. Okay, can't really do anything. Let's continue. I hope it's not too much. Let me listen to myself first of all. Alrighty, I think it does not have that much effect though, so I can just simply go ahead. So these are the things that are done so far, and after that here we are. And if the meeting is already created, if another person actually tries to join the meeting, in that case let's see what happens. So far the state is actually like this, so in that case I can actually keep it on the, come on, it should be on the left side and it should be on the right side. Right now the meeting is already created, and that is why I'm getting the state like this. So this is the current state. Oh, name demo user. Okay, this is how it should be going on. So right now, okay, so it's like if you click on this or double click, but it does not work that way, but I can pin it, right? What the hell? So earlier the values were actually pinned, and because of that thing I was getting it. I could have clicked on state and would have gotten the right state. This is insane. I didn't know this about this feature, and that is accidentally I pinned it, and because of that thing I wasn't getting the right response. But never mind, let's continue from here on. And okay, that's fine. right now if another user tries to join the same meeting, so somewhere here, this is the another user that tried to join the same meeting, and this time of course the state is definitely gonna be changing for this user. So if I click on this, the states should be different for both the users, but as the name is same, so it's gonna be fine. But later I will be changing the name as well, and as the name changes, the state is actually gonna be changing. But so far it's good. I can just simply this is the auth information about the user, and when it comes to this auth, it is actually not inside auth, rather I should go to state and meeting, and this time the user information I don't have yet. Joining participant is null right now, and over here, and joining participant is still null. Okay, so in that case what can I do? I can just simply, the user tries to join this meeting but still did nothing happen. That simply means somewhere here I could have gotten the request to allow, but I didn't get. So let's simply come back here and console. So here I did get a request to join, and then the object I got, that is the object of the other user, connection ID and all. So this is the connection ID of this particular user, and but even after that, am I just missing something? Meeting state got set, and from this particular section I actually socket got connected, and that's it. I sent a request, and as soon as the user got became a host, then a request came there. You just simply accept, that's it. Okay, definitely something is missing, so let's go to this meeting.page.tsx and see. And the thing is that the request actually comes here. Ultimately when it comes to this particular request, if I go to socket events inside services, so the request actually comes here. After that dispatch set meeting state, I'm setting the meeting state, and while setting the meeting state, open model actually becomes true, and joining participants and the data I just give here. But somehow this does not work. So dispatch set meeting state, so over here this is the set meeting state that I have. It just simply gets the action and all, and this is the same meeting state that I'm actually returning from here. In that case, this should be working. Model, open model. Let's check this thing out too. This is the open model property that I have, and it is kind of the same. And that's it. So whenever this particular thing actually runs, at that time something should change on the UI part, but nothing is changing. Why is that so? Even if there is a user state, so I'm using context, that context should be different from for both the two browsers altogether, or two browser pages and all. So this is never even happening. So dispatch does not have any effect. CLG set meeting state done. Let's see what's gonna happen. So this is of course the host, so I can come back here again, and I can just simply reload the page. As soon as the page is actually reloaded inside meeting, there is no joining participant, and in here of course I'm getting this request to join. But at the end this is never getting done. That's interesting. That means this particular part, dispatch, is never ever running. And why is this never running? Because I'm passing the dispatch from there. Even if I'm passing it from there, what is the issue? Okay, let's check this thing out. So from page.tsx I'm actually passing it from there. So this inside meeting, I have my dispatch. Don't I have that? I do have that. Once I have my dispatch, I'm just simply passing it from here. So socket events, socket and character ref, So socket.ref.current and the value dispatch is actually being passed, and as these values are passed, then I'm actually setting the value using this, and that should not be problematic at all, but still I'm facing the issue because of what? Open model true and join participants data, that's gonna be data, and even it worked initially, right now it is not working. So this part is not working well. Interesting. Let's do one thing, I'm not sure whether this try catch block is actually gonna work here or not. CLG error setting the state, just like this. Let's see whether even it works or not. So I have to just simply reload this page, and I should be getting an option to enter the username as well, because all the time the username is actually the same, and that is kind of problematic. In that case, I can create two rooms, two users, and it could be that there is only one user and the same user is trying to join the two rooms, and because of that thing I'm facing the error over here. It could be that as well. So because I'm logged in, so there is only one user, and as there is only one user, so whenever I try to log in, can a user join the same meeting again? That is, how can I make sure this? Because that's the same user, so whenever I reload the page, ultimately the new ID should come. So this is Q3YQ, and just above there was JLK. So ultimately connection ID is different every time. As the connection ID is different, based on the connection ID only I will be checking whether the user already exists or not, otherwise not. So this should even be fine. I mean, this should definitely not be a problematic thing. So if this cannot should not be a problematic thing, in that case, why isn't the user, I mean this dispatch working over here? And if this dispatch really worked, then I should be getting this open model, and I should be getting data there. But of course, the value of the open model is false. That means it did not work. In that case, let me open another browser here. So localhost 3000. Of course, I will log in. Wow. Yeah. Of course, I'm not making request to the database and all. That simply means still that's gonna be the same user. So if I try to join the same room, Control C, and if I actually go to Brave, Control V, then I'm joining the room, and once I'm actually joining the room, coming back to this, I'm definitely missing something. The joining participant, it should definitely have some value, but it does not have the value. So over here, even if I'm setting the value, this never becomes right. And forget about this. Event request join permission, this runs, but when it comes to this particular function, dispatch, set meeting state, this never really runs. Why is that? If I don't do anything, that's okay, not a problem. Of course, it will never work. So when it comes to this, if I reload the page, come back here, I just get this data, and this time the ID is different. Participant count to one, demo user. This is the meeting any solution. I've been facing this problem since I actually changed the name of this set meeting state, right? And if I actually change this name, where else am I using this? Let's check it. So Control Shift F. I think it should be working. At least this is how it works, or doesn't it? Okay, by the way, here I will be looking for set state. It turns out I'm not really using it anywhere now. Interesting. Set meeting state. These are the places it's actually being used. One thing is clear, that inside services, this is the socket.ts I have, and this socket.ts, inside this I have this request to join meeting. I get my data over here, but ultimately this dispatch never works. So dispatch set meeting state, open model and all, CLD dispatch, or let's simply alert the value for me. Alert dispatch. And in this case, if I just reload this page again, it is not really working as expected. Let's start the backend. Let's start the front end as well. And right now there are two hosts. Dispatched. Wow. Why is this working now? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Is the data actually being cached? Just a minute. Allow it. And this is how people are actually getting saved, and they are not the host, and the first one is actually the host. So this is how it is working. And right now if I just remove this one, I will have only one of them, and then as I have only one of them, npm run dev, this is actually gonna be running. So I got the host. I got another user as well. So let's do one thing. This way I'm just simply going to close this altogether. I think it's already running on this side, so let's get rid of this particular page as well. Let's start running this. We start running this as well. And of course it is starting now. I'm gonna be opening this, and as this is open, I can go to this page. The meeting hasn't been created yet. I can create the meeting. The meeting is created like this. Once the meeting is actually created, I will ask another user to join the same meeting, and here dispatched, I can allow you or I can deny. So allow, I'm getting it twice, but ultimately the user is actually allowed, and that simply means I can come back here. If I I check this meeting, join participant is actually gonna be null because I have allowed it. Okay, and there's only one participant, and at last there is a joining participant. Okay, fine. So right now I have 2 users, but of course they are not being shown there. And if I actually have a look here, now I'm getting this reverse option as well. That's kind of great. This joining participant is not here because this was the host, but joining participant is definitely what the heck. Here we are. Redux meeting. Joining participant is here, but joining participant is not in this particular section here, because this is the main host, so this is where I actually allowed it. So joining participant is not saved here, but on the other side over here, this is the joining part. This was the host if I'm not wrong. So on the host side, this is the joining participant, right? If I just simply reload this, I'm going to get a, I'm not gonna have any joining participant if a user here, but on the host side I will have a joining participant. Now I can allow it or I can deny it, completely up to me. If I deny it, then of course it hasn't been removed from here, so that is what I have to just take care of. But ultimately it is working, and as whenever I deny it, the user should not be saved. So let's get rid of this dispatch at least for now. So this is directly is working, and whenever dispatching happens, that means that is the provider that I have created, and that is the Redux provider, query provider. What does this query provider do? Mainly responsible for React queries and all. So okay, these are the providers, and I'm mainly talking about over here auth related stuff. So models, inside models I have joined permission model, and over here as soon as I handle the response, I'm just setting it here as well, setting meeting state open model becomes false, and that's impressive. The model actually becomes false, and at the same time the model becomes false. That's fine. Okay, and I just simply send a request as well, like run join permission, gonna be sending this request to the backend. The user will be added, and once the user is added, set a meeting state open model becomes false, and joining participants, that will actually become null. So let's see whether it's actually working as expected. So here are the 2 things. This is the user that's trying to join. The value of the participant is null, but here I got that, and now I can allow it, or don't allow it. If I allow it, the value becomes actually null, and this is how it's gonna be going on. And one more thing, instead of saying allow, I can just say allow and deny, just like this. And if I'm not wrong, I will definitely have to restart the backend as well as the front end. So let's get rid of this. This is the main user, and the value actually becomes undefined. The backend stopped. That stuff. I can restart the backend. What was the error, by the way? Because of that, backend actually stopped. The error was this. Participant connection.id. So it was actually unable to read the connection.id. Yeah, because that did not exist. So that's right. I'm getting it twice, and in order to avoid this thing, why is the model being shown twice? In React it made sense because there was a strict related tag or something. Okay, over here let's see how it's gonna be working. npm run dev. I have to just create a disconnect event so that whenever it disconnects, I don't have to stop the server, so that user automatically gets removed. Here I can just simply create a meeting. Redux, and right now in the meeting there is no user as such who is actually trying to join. That's good. I can just simply copy it, come back here, paste it here, and this is done. On the other side over here I just got allow and deny option, and joining participant is actually this. And if I talk about the participants, right now there is only one participant, and if I actually deny it for some reason, of course I'm getting the option twice to deny it, but so when I deny it for the first time, nothing happens. When I deny it the second time, then only the problem occurs. If I deny it for the first time, my backend doesn't stop, but if I deny it the second time, the backend crashes, because the second time there is no user. So why is my model being appeared twice? I'm using Redux state to render the model. Why is it being rendered twice? If you want to using this, this is very common situation. It is the most common reasons. React strict mode development only. If you are using CS or React, so components twice in development detect the side effects. So this is only happening in development, not production. So React strict mode exactly mounts components or mounts again. This helps to detect the side effects. How to confirm console model render. If it runs once, nothing is wrong. Redux state changing. If not strict mode, check are you dispatching twice. Example problem, use effect, dispatch, and this. If strict mode is on, this runs twice in development. Okay. So the first thing is that somewhere in mailings at test.tsx, if I'm not wrong, I have this particular use effect, and in here I'm actually dispatching it. I'm setting the meeting states and all. Even if I allow it or I deny it, if it is running twice, then that is problematic. Since you are working with the Redux next to socket, most likely cause React strict mode or socket listener registered twice. Debug console model render in model component inside reducer, open model, and console log open model called console log inside socket listener, socket event triggered twice. So let's check these things. First of all, it's gonna be model component. So inside model I will be logging the value, and let's see how many times model is actually getting the render, and high probability that it is actually getting rendered twice. So I can close this all, and this is the join permission model, and inside this, just like this, I can have it here. Wow. Model render once, model render twice. Model is no doubt rendering twice. How can I stop this? So you are not just facing double render, you are also getting this error. Can't update the component link component while rendering. So what is this that actually means? So you are updating state redux dispatch or state while React is still rendering auth layout. Yeah. So you are updating state redux is dispatch or set state while React is still rendering. So React does not allow this. So inside auth layout, I'm setting some action, that's right, and that is not allowed in that case. Or if I'm just redirect, that is also not allowed. Inside this I'm dispatching, that is also not allowed. Why a model is rendering 4 times from your console. Model, here's what's happening. React state mode 2-day renders development only. You are updating state during render triggers another render, that causes another update. Got it. So it's like you are updating set state using render. So using render, I'm changing the set state. As soon as the states are actually changed, it will re-render again. Whenever it renders, model runs. Most likely issue in your case. Here something like selector. If not user, this runs during the render. Or user dispatch open model. So correct code is gonna be wrong. This the what I need to use any use effect here, and on the basis of that thing I have to check. If you are dispatching redux, socket connected, dispatch. So ultimately, wherever I am doing it, I actually need to use effect. I cannot do it directly. Let's exactly check whether I'm doing it directly or using the use effect. So this doesn't just gonna be a to do. The very first thing that I'm doing, that is inside providers, I have auth provider, and over here I'm setting, but when I'm actually setting here, that is inside this dispatch doesn't need to be here. So this is how it's gonna be going on. Model render happened twice, so of course this is not the issue. Dispatch. Let's give it to this, whether this is actually right or not. Okay, apart from this particular thing, what is the next thing that I'm actually doing here? The next thing is I actually go to the layout here. Wow. Is this the error? And that's high probability that this is causing the issue. So in this case, use effect. I cannot do it directly. In that case, I'm gonna be using it like this. Is authenticated is actually gonna be the dependency here. And what can I actually see? Do here Control X. Whenever the value of is authenticated changes, only then this particular use effect should run, otherwise it should never run. And if not authenticated, then log in. So this is how I'm gonna be going on, and let's see what happens. Use effect, use client. Got render more than sometimes. Rendered hooks more than during a previous render. Main.layout. So is authenticated. First of all, I will get the value of is authenticated. Initially it will run. Let me know the real reason behind this. Is this the issue that I'm facing because of this file? Your code almost done, but there are two subtle issues. What are they? You are calling router push inside use effect, which is correct. You should not return a router. Okay. Use effect expects or nothing will the function. So fix it like this. So I'm gonna be having router inside this, and I'm gonna be having this no return. Problem 2 very important, loading return. If loading and is not authenticated, then this should be returning. So ultimately, if I just add this much code, will it be fine? I have to check. Let's see. Oh yeah, it does work. Interesting. It turns out HTML model is getting rendered twice. That simply means the other user comes, I'll actually have to stop it. Okay, if the other user actually comes here and joins the same meeting, then here I will get this. If I deny it, I'm gonna be getting it twice. That was the issue that I've been facing since the beginning, and because of that my backend even crashes. So the simple thing is that why is it so that I'm getting it twice? Reload it. You're only seeing this area, that's right. Why model is rendering twice? Now it's normal. Look carefully at the log source. This and this, just first renders your component, and then second render React Dev Tools hook restrict mode. React Dev Tools strict mode. You are in React 18 first pixels development. In development, React strict mode does this intentionally render this. This is to detect side effect. So model in this 100% on. Why did it this 4 times? Important for you, since you are using socket, if you ever see this 2 times, it means you are registering socket inside render, not inside use effect, but currently it's correct. Okay, there's one last thing. The model that I actually created, this one, I'm just managing some states here too. How about this? Let's check this as well. Now this explains the real reason. What is the problem? Your model renders multiple times because of this. So use effect model if current returns and model. This is the root cause. What's actually happening? Component renders open model changing use effect means model so whenever open model changes, this kind of makes sense. But ultimately, if it is true, then only it will be rendered. So open model changes use effect runs model currently triggers state change inside or alert dialog. This causes a re-render. Strict mode runs effect it twice in development mode, so it hits twice. So you are programmatically clicking a hidden button every time open model changes. So this is not ideal. Okay, so what could be the solution to this? Replace this entire logic. It is asking me to replace my entire logic. Okay, in that case, on open change, alert dialog I have, and remove the hidden trigger completely. So ultimately this is the trigger that I have to remove completely. Join permission model, dispatch, handle response, alert dialog, open while open model, on open change value, if not value switch. Okay, it turns out it is gonna be a bit troublesome. So what can I actually do? First of all, let's have a look exactly what am I doing. First of all, I have this alert dialog that this simply triggers, and I have this. And what is it does it want me to do? I have this alert dialog and top level alert dialog. Can we do it like this as well? So this alert dialog is directly gonna take the value in. So I will not have the button directly here, rather I will have alert dialog. And inside this, first of all, I have to open this whenever the model opens. So if it is actually true, then it will appear. That's all. Let's check this thing out. So I'm gonna be removing it for now. As for this thing, I'm gonna open it, and open is actually gonna be true. That simply means I should be getting the alert box. Yeah, it is working. Interesting. And now on open change, whenever the value changes, I have to get the value. The value that I got, if not value, the true, not true, false. So what kind of value am I gonna be getting? On open change, set state of set meeting state open false, joining participants, that's actually gonna be null. If not value, so not value in the sense, which value am I talking about? I have the model in joining participant that I'm actually getting. I have dispatch over here whenever I'm handling the response. At that time, not socket returned, socket means permission granted. I'm directly calling handle response over here. It can be false or it can be true. That simply means I'm gonna be getting the value permission granted here, and based on that thing, I'm emitting it. That is fine. And after that, I'm actually gonna be making it null. Permission granted. And at the end, I'm actually setting the value to this. Okay. So as I'm already doing it this way, so I can keep it like this. Open model. Since the model is actually open, this will be shown. That's fine. And apart from this particular thing, this much I'm already doing. And as for these things, I can have them directly inside them. Having them directly here in the sense, handle response false, instead of making it handle response, handle permission. Handle handle allow permission or handle join permission. So I have handle join permission here. So whenever I'm changing this happens. Having said that, it's actually gonna be somewhat like this. So this much is already done. Apart from this particular thing, this use effect, I don't really need this because it will be re-rendering that. Let's see whether this actually gets resolved or not, or am I gonna be facing the same error? Wow, so many renders. What is the reason behind them? So it was because of this, right? So I have already resolved this, so that should not be problematic right now. And it is gone. So it was mainly because of that thing. Literally. So now I'm getting it only once. It was mainly because of open model. It was getting triggered twice. Suppose it gets triggered twice, and I have my hook over here that was like getting triggered whenever the value of open model changes. Was like this. What the hell? कुछ भी कहो भाई. I actually made it true. Am I crazy? I'm going back to my previous code. Okay, just clicking Ctrl Z over and over. Whatever kind of code I had, I'm gonna be going with the same code. But if I actually go with the same code over here, this true makes everything worse. Rather, it should have been open model. So even if I go with my way, that my way is actually highway. I mean, this is too much, but okay, yeah, I mean that's type 2. Control D and handle. Let's make the name better. Handle join permission, and because of this true I was getting the am I crazy? Never mind. If the other user actually tries to, let's close everything first of all, and here I am. I will be just stopping everything. I can restart it like this, and everything will be stopped. And let's click on this. Let's click on login. Here I am. Inspect it. Right now the connection of course got established. I'm gonna be joining or another user is actually gonna be joining just like this. So here I got the model. I can allow or I can deny. Right now I have only one user. If I deny it, so if I deny it, that's it. Then as soon as it is denied, it should be redirected to the home page, but okay, never mind. It got denied, so on my backend side I still have only one user. And now if that user tries to join the meeting again, I will be getting allow button over here again. And if I actually allow it, and as soon as it is actually allowed, I'm getting 2 claps for me. At least I've done it. Okay, so this much is done. Amazing job. Let's even make it a bit better. Making it a bit better in the sense, I already have this handle permission, and as for this one, I will be removing it from here. This model really works well. I'm going with my logic, whatever I wrote initially, and that's fantastic. And apart from this particular thing, let's simply remove it. On click, handle join permission, make it true like this, make it false like this, and everything else is great. And as soon as I click on deny and permission is actually denied, in that case I have to redirect the user. So dispatching things and all, that is fine. Open model becomes false, join participant, it actually becomes null. And if the user is actually denied, I will be getting an event, right? So I will be getting it done there only. Permission denied. So at least this is great. I can simply get rid of this. Never expected actually that I could reach this level. Honestly, when I actually started this, doesn't matter how I'm gonna be making, but it is already far ahead than I expected from myself. It's not like I was mainly worried about the structure. How would I structure the things? Right now, slowly the structure of this application is actually getting better, though taking the help of AI now, learning it at the end of the day. But yeah, why not? So this much is done, and inside the services, I will have the services related stuff. So socket.ts, and here deny. So event deny permission. So I must have got this deny permission as well. So this should be somewhere here because this particular person got denied. So well, not quite getting that. Interesting stuff. If I actually reload this page again, turns out I have to restart it. This is the host. I'm getting a request here. I can allow or I can deny. If I just simply deny it, then what will happen? This side nothing happened, but this side I got a denied permission. Okay, that's interesting. And this is the user that actually got denied. And as soon as I'm getting that, so the socket disconnected, dispatch, this happened, denied is actually fine too. And in this case, I'm already setting set meeting, open model becomes false, and as soon as it is denied, so open model is false, that's okay. And whenever I'm denying, a model was false by default, so I'm not even worried about that. And if model is not false, I'm making it false, so that's also fine. I'm making the model false in the model section itself. So here, whenever this handle join happens, at the end of the day model becomes false, so I don't need to worry about this. At least here inside the service, the only thing I need to worry about is this. Permission denied, and that's actually gonna be true. It's somewhat gonna be like this. So permission denied, that's actually gonna be true, and the user should be and in the main page. So somewhere inside this page here, I'm checking for it. If the permission is actually denied, in that case the user should be redirected to this particular page. As simple as that. This permission denied is actually coming from the selector. So let's even check whether I have this there in the node, or this particular thing, permission denied. So yeah, it turns out I do have it. That is a boolean. By default it is false, then it becomes true. So let's see one more time in action. Here I am. thing is done. This thing is done, so I can go to this, create a meeting, Control C, Control V. Of course I will get a request here. If I allow it, the user is going to be allowed. If I deny it, the user is going to be denied. What am I supposed to be doing? This time I'm going to deny. As soon as I deny it has been redirected to the home page. Can you see it? It's gonna be fun again. Sorry. And right now it cannot. And one more thing, as soon as it is redirected to the home page, the next thing that I actually want, dispatch do I have here? Yeah, I don't have dispatch. Set a meeting state just like this, and permission denied. That's actually gonna be false after that. This is how it should be. So of course I'm gonna be closing everything because I don't have one logic, disconnection logic. I will be creating that very soon. But doing it like this, going ahead like this, click on this. Here I am, log in again. I can create a meeting. This is the meeting. Another person tries to join. Okay, right now the person is actually inside the meeting. Not even inside the meeting. There should be another page altogether. If that is not joined the meeting yet. But okay, for now, suppose this is the page, and this is the request. And if I just simply deny it. So if I go here, user is redirected to the home page, and if I just create a meeting, so of course the meeting can be created or user can join the same meeting altogether. So the user also tries to join meeting again, and I'm going to be getting the request here one more time. By the way, in here I already got it. Let's accept it, allow. And this time, as soon as I accepted this, I have two users here. First one was the host, second one is not the host. And right now both of them are in the same meeting. Okay. So we have gone through this much, and that's been pretty much fantastic. It's been full of learning actually. Faced so many things, even I thought of giving up on this project. Even if I had the basic clear exactly how the WebRTC works and all, but structuring was so hard for me. I just thought, okay, let's watch actually a proper video on this and then do it. But yeah, it turns out to be working slowly, and that's interesting. Okay, so this much I've done so far. The next thing is actually gonna be once both of them are actually connected and they are in the same row. After that, I have to just simply create the basic stuff. Creating the basic stuff in the sense as both of them are connected via WebSocket and they are able to send a request to each other. After that, I'm actually going to create a peer connection this time. I think this would be the best thing. Creating a peer connection, and once the peer connection is actually created, after that this is gonna be one thing, like I can go with this, creating a peer connection and all. This is one of the things. And the another thing is that as soon as the user actually joined the meeting, right, so over here, come on, I can click on this, not wrong today. So the next step is actually this. Let me stop it and let me start it. I clicked on login, I created my meeting, and right now what I want to do, first of all, my name should be shown here. All these users should not be shown, because if I'm the only one, so I should be the only one visible. And apart from this particular thing, I should be able to change the video, audio. I should be able to end the call. So these are the things. And if the user actually reloads, so the user should actually be disconnected. That is something not happening right now. So it turns out we actually have a lot. We will start working with this particular functionality, even first of all the to-dos, so that at least I don't have to think exactly what to do next now. So inside this meeting, these are gonna be the to-dos. Let's have them at the top. user disconnect. Whenever the disconnection happens, so I have to keep this particular thing in mind. And after that, I have to worry about the icons. Then I have to go with media devices and also. These are the things that I have to work on, and slowly, of course, I'm gonna be working on all of them. And this is how it's gonna be going on in a day, because of course I have some other things to cover too. So initially, in a day, I will be giving it 3 hours. So 3 hours are actually gonna be given to this thing, and the remaining hours I will be working on some other things too, working on some other parts, or going to increase it till 4 hours. If I'm giving 4 hours to a project, 5. So this particular project is actually gonna be given 5 hours daily, and apart from those 5 hours, if I get any time, I will be learning something. Otherwise, and again, this is gonna be the first priority. That means first 5 hours I will have to give to this particular project. Once I have given 5 hours to this particular project, then I will start working on some other things. Otherwise, I will keep working on this project. Okay, because the thing is that when you actually build the things on your own, at that time you learn the most. Otherwise, you don't. Okay, so this is how things are actually gonna be going on. As for today, of course, let's simply call it. And I have another project. I have to kind of rebuild that on my own, but as the code is already written, so let's go through that. What time is it? 8:38. Even this needs to be, I don't really need to go through it. I mean, this is the same code, but it is in HTML, CSS and JavaScript, and the code that I'm actually writing, that is inside with the TypeScript, Next.js and all. I mean, those are the technologies or tech stacks that are used, and here HTML, CSS and JavaScript used. So this is the main difference between both of them. And as there are people, so let's do one thing. I have a code here, and that's kind of one of the best ways to write the code. So I'm gonna be just simply having a quick look at them, and that was I should be able to find it. What was that code about? Here it is. It is the project management code, and I mainly wanted to go through this code once, because the way things have been explained over here, that is quite well. So I just thoroughly, I mean, just quickly watched the whole video, and once the whole video was watched here, then I just simply I thought of just simply going through once, and this is the right time to just simply go through it. So when it comes to this PRD, so this is the PRD. Let's simply, when if some things are remaining, I will be working on them. And the main goal is gonna be I will be rebuilding this. Mainly I want to rebuild this because there is a thing that is covered here, that is access token and refresh token. So this access token and refresh token, how they are used, how you can implement them with the backend as well as the front end. Both the things have actually been covered here. So first of all, let's simply go through this PRD, exactly what are the things that are actually going to be covered here, and then we'll actually go through the remaining things. And of course, I will be explaining each and everything. There are few things that are kind of new to me as well, and that is why I'm just simply going through it. Again, this is this PRD or this code I got from one of the Udemy courses and all. So even course of Hitesh, that is the Node.js and all. So over there he actually covered this much. So first of all, this is the project camp and all, forget about this. And project camp backend is a RESTful. Okay, no need to just go through it. Target users. There are gonna be 3 types of users: administrators, admins and team members and all. And there are core features of this: user registration, user login, password management, email verification, token management, role based authentication access. Okay, the thing is that we have to create this again from scratch, so we had better learn about it well. I will be recreating it, and when I'm actually recreating it, at that time I will be using TypeScript over there too. So this is done. Project creation, project listing details, address, deletion and all. Okay, after that member addition, member listing, member role management, member removal. These are the kind of functionalities that are actually gonna be there, and I don't even think this is completely ready. I mean, this is not the complete code written. If I actually just try to have a look at this inside controllers, nope, it is actually complete. Well, the videos weren't there, but it is complete. Interesting. I did not have the idea about this key. It is actually complete. Okay, that's great. Okay, task management team. Okay, inside task manage, task creation, task listing, details, updates, deletion, attachments, assignment, status. I mean, there are many things. Subtasks, project nodes, system health for checking health and all, and authentication. These are the kind of routes that are actually here. And apart from this particular thing, that's it. I mean, this is how the things actually go on. We'd better just simply start going through from this app.js, and here, I mean, things are really not that difficult. First of all, you are using Express, you already know for what, course related issues, cookie parser, so that you can actually access the cookie. And then these are the basic configurations or basic middlewares, I must say. Basic middleware configurations. So first of all, this is for the JSON type of data. This is for the data that you get from the form. So if you are submitting the form, you will be getting the data in this format, and this will be just simply kind of making it available in request.body. And apart from this particular thing, you are making the public page static, so whatever is inside public, you can directly access that. And this cookie parser is used over here, so that the cookies are actually accessible here. Okay, and if you actually remembered, so the project that we are actually working on, that is the kind of video calling project that I was working on earlier. I'm actually using over there session. So what actually happens, I'm using passport JS over there, and when using passport JS, so and it just simply kinds of serializes the data. Serializes. Okay, so data actually gets serialized, and after that it just simply it saves the data in the neon DB. And once the data is actually saved, ultimately once the data is serialized, it creates the session, it saves the session, it sends the session ID in the cookies to the browser, and it saves the session in neon DB. Again, that is actually implemented, because over here as well, when you are actually using sessions, there are two options. Either you will be using memory store, so memory store, spelling is wrong, memory store in the sense, if you don't give any session kind of database, ultimately if you don't provide any database for storing the session, it will be using the memory store. The limitation is that if your server stops for some reason, your store like whatever you have in your memory store, that will be gone. Your server stop, that means memory store is gone. But the good thing is that if you actually store it in a like a session provider, that could be anything. I was using something, I mean, you can just make a search on Google, and you will be getting many providers. You can use any one of them, and then once the data is actually saved in a database provider, in that case, even if your server is stopped, the session will still remain there. So that simply means that can be used anywhere, anytime. And apart from this particular thing, if the session is actually saved in a database provider, then that can be used for mobile apps as well. So you can use it for, I mean, when I'm talking about the session-based authentication, or you could use even a website for websites as well. And this is how it just simply goes on. And if you just simply want to log out, you can just remove the session. This is how the things go. Okay, so let's continue. By the way, I just started like discussing about session-based authentication, because over here this is gonna be token-based authentication. So instead of creating a session and all, I will actually create a token that will save. I mean, user information will be saved there. Kind of user information will be encrypted, and kind of it will be converted into some kind of string, and I will be getting that string. So that is something that's gonna happen. Apart from this, I have this course configuration. It is just simply origin. This can be an array, and if there's only one origin, so you can just directly provide that one origin over here. If you want to provide if you want to allow everything, so this asterisk can actually be used here. And if you have more than one provide origins hitting it, so you can just create an array, and this way you can just add all the possible URLs over here, or all the possible origins over here. So this is how it can be added. And in my case, I'm just what am I doing, process.env course origin. It will be just getting all the possible origins in the sense the path or the URL from the request is actually gonna be coming from, and then I'm splitting it. There can be more than one URLs, and that is why I'm just gonna be kind of adding them using this comma. So if I actually go to, it turns out I don't have env file. Wow, amazing, great job. So let's create a .env file here, and the name of is gonna be course origin, right? Course origin, okay, something like this. And over here you can have more than one origins, and they are gonna be, this is gonna be the first one, of course, localhost 5173. This is the origin of the React app, is the React app, that is. So like this. And if you are actually using Next.js app, that's gonna be running on 3000. So this is how it's gonna be going on. So it's simple. You have these course origins and all, and I'm just simply separating them using a comma. So I can just simply split them as they are splitted using comma. That simply means they've been converted to an array. Credentials are gonna be true. So credentials in the sense, if I want to send the data in cookies, so if cookie is actually saved, I mean credentials are mainly used for cookies if I'm not wrong. So let me even make a quick Google search. Not here actually. This is what being shown. That seems strange. Yeah, I'm on the right page. So are credentials only for cookies? Credentials true. Is credentials true only for cookies? Credentials include or true in some wrappers. Fetch or course is not strictly for cookies, but for all user credentials. It authorizes the browser to send cookies, HTTP authentication headers, basic digest, TLS certificates, while cookies are the most common. Okay, so it turns out tells the browser to include specific authentication information that is usually omitted in cross-origin request. That means if I want to send headers, I'll still have to use credentials to I wrote. No, you do not need credentials to include just to send custom headers. These are two separate parts. So custom headers control access to allow others. Credentials control credentials include request options and access control responsibles. What is this even saying? Key differences. If you want to send custom headers, use fetch headers x y required response headers access allow this. Send credentials, cookies or auth headers. I want to send a bearer token. I will be even checking it whether it directly works with the bearer token or not. To send bearer token, you do not need credentials true. When you manually add authorization header to your request, the browser treats it as a custom header and credentials flag becomes irrelevant. That's great. So if I'm actually adding the authorization code like bearer token here, I don't really even need to do anything. Interesting stuff. So this is one of them. Credentials, this is mainly gonna be used for cookies. Methods are gonna be these ones, get, post, put, patch, options and all. Allow headers, content type authorization. So ultimately two things are gonna be required here. Content type could be application session, and authorization, of course, using authorization you will be sending your bearer token. So this much is done. Apart from this particular thing, you are just getting the routes over here. I have specifically 3 types of routes. First one is gonna be health check. Second one is the auth related stuff. Third one is gonna be for the project related stuff. We will be digging deeper into all these ones, and these routes are just simply redirecting there as well. And then welcome to Basecamp. This is the base URL, and just simply exporting it from here. So kind of, yeah, it is quite simple, but it's not like it is really simple. First of all, there are some extra things like one of them is express validator that is used, that is quite new, and access token and refresh token. And because of this thing, I will be remaking this, or I will be even making it better than this. Why not? Of course, TypeScript is going to be added, and there are some other things using them, it can actually be made a bit better. So we will be going through all those things. By the way, when it comes to index.js, so first of all, I'm getting this .env will be used for getting the environment variables and all. And app.js, you already know, I'm already importing it from there. Once it is imported, I will be able to just run this file over here. Again, this .env configuration mainly tells that find the path or the environment variable file in the root directory. So dot stands for root directory, so root directory, and in the root directory there is a .env file there. So this simply tells that, and I will be getting the port, so let's use port here as well. So port is gonna be somewhere here, and that is gonna be around 3000 if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 3000. And connected DB, this is a MongoDB is being used over here. And when it comes to this, so MongoDB, of course, Mongoose is gonna be imported. If connected successfully, then it got connected, otherwise it got failed, and just simply returning it from here. The most quite easier to understand. And if it is actually connected successfully, then I will be starting my server. If it failed, so I will not start my server, rather I will be just exiting it. I mean, it should definitely make sense. And example app, this is not the example app now. Server is listening on code. This particular code it is just simply listening. So this is it. The next thing actually gonna be starting with this particular point from here. First of all, I will be talking about health check route, and after that auth related information, and then project related information. And this is how it's gonna be going on. First of all, the basic discussion will happen, and after that I will rebuild this from scratch. And the main reason behind building this is it is using it is mainly using access token and refresh token, and I want to build an app that actually uses both of them, and because of that thing I will be rebuilding this, and let's see how it's gonna be going on. By the way, I'm gonna be just taking a break for a while, and after that I'll continue actually from here on. So whenever I'm gonna be live, I will actually start from here on. It will just take barely an hour or so, or maybe 1 or 2 hours to just discuss the whole things in detail. And once everything is actually discussed, and then I will actually rebuild this from scratch. So this is how the plan is. Let's see when it's gonna be actually getting done. Until then, take care and see you. Bye bye.